Howdy! It's me again, Shawn Suriano. I left off my last video when I was 8. Well, on my ninth birthday, my family moved into a rental house on Bella Street. And I remember the first day at my new school. It was the sixth school that I've been to for my second grade year. That didn't help matters a whole lot. Anyway, the first day I met a kid and we became friends. I became friends with him and his whole family, and his whole family became friends with my family, uh, and uh, and we're still friends to this day. I call him occasionally, a couple times a month. Called him last week, and I need to get back in touch with him. Uh, my dad's oldest sister, who's 95, passed away last week. Last Monday she passed away. And she lived a good life. Uh, a full life. 2 beautiful daughters, a granddaughter, and I think a great-grandchild, but I'm not sure on that one. Anyway, so my ninth birthday, we moved into our rental house. A week after my ninth birthday, 1 week later, so over at a friend's house, this Donald's house, a friend of mine I met way back when. And there were a number of us. I think it's just as, no, there were some girls, boys and girls both. We was tossing the football back and forth over the fence. And I went after the ball, tripped over a rock, and my right hand went down on a piece of glass and cut it deep. Got a deep cut. Blood squirting everywhere. I was one scared 9-year-old. I lost more than a quart of blood that day. My mom got polka dotted tennis shoes from it. I remember being in the hospital, lying on the hospital bed gurney. I guess it was more like a gurney than actually a bed. All right, and I had my right hand on this little table, and I'm squinching, waiting for them to put stitches in. All right, I'm waiting for them to put the first stitch, and I'm squinching, just tensing up, waiting for that first stitch. And the doctor says, "Well, I got the first one," and I'm going, "Huh?" I had no clue. This didn't feel a thing. All right. So, got 3 stitches. They were out about a month or so later. Don't remember exactly how long that was. But nine for me was a sad year for the most part. Yes, I met some friends that are still friends today, which is I know I praise the Lord for that. All right, but there are some things happened in my life. I mean, 6 schools for my second grade year. All right, so that's just a child lacks security there, period. All right. My younger brother was too young to understand that. Okay. uh, and I don't know about my older siblings. I don't, they may have become numb to it, which is probably what happened. They probably became numb to this the whole thing. All right. And so anyway, uh, that my dad's youngest brother died that year. He was 35 years old. And that was devastating, all right? My folks' divorce was finalized when I was 9. Another devastating blow for me. And that fall, winter, I think it was actually winter, someone gave us a puppy, and I loved that puppy. His name was Tiny Tim. We named him Tiny Tim. And not long before my 10th birthday, Tiny Tim wasn't doing very well. He was uh, kind of sickly. We cared about him, and we was hoping he would improve, but he never did. On St. Patrick's Day, I found him dead. I have never screamed so loud since or before then. Anyways, around that time, 9, 10 years old, I was categorized as emotionally disturbed child. Okay, let's review the things. My folks divorced, uncle died, been through 6 schools in that 1 year. The puppy died. What did the morons expect? I was being normal, right? I was not becoming numb to it, okay? It was still affecting me, okay? Which is, that's saying a lot. Says my brothers, they become numb to it. It was difficult for them to handle too, probably, all right? Then my brothers have done things that has uh, some dumb things. All right, I've done some dumb things too. All right, but I've bounced back and got right on track. All right. My brothers haven't done that as well. All right. Uh, Probably because they became calloused or whatever, numb. Uh, in a way, I guess you can say I was a little tough kid. All right. Sticking it out and dealing with it face on. All right. And actually, I hadn't considered that until just recently. I was just waiting for the bus, and I was thinking about this. I was one tough kid, all right. Of course, I started when I was 3 and wanting to ride that horse by myself, all right. So, anyway, let's continue to 10, all right. When I was 10, all right. So got to know some of the neighbor girls. They were great. They were really sweet. Uh, and went to catechism. I think I started going to catechism when I was 10 or so. Uh, don't remember all the details. I just trying to remember some of the details on 10. I know there's some other things happening, and I remember them. I'll come back to them. Maybe not. It's got a lot of ground to cover, and we're 8 minutes into this. Okay, let's go on to 11. When I was 11 years old, I started shining shoes in bars. And that was it was actually a blessing. It helped me deal with my family situation and the stress there, uh, the neglect, for the most part neglect. I guess I fell into the woodwork all the time, and uh, I I even fall into the woodwork now as an adult. All right, I don't know why. Things get hectic. Like I'm just standing back, goes, okay. And it's almost like I don't exist, all right. But I was shining shoes in bars when I was 11. I may have started when I was 10, but I'm not sure, right? Uh, but a guy that played the bass guitar in a band showed me a trick, and really good trick, all right. And I entertain people with it to this day. But the first time I convinced anybody of what I was doing was real was this kid sitting in front of me was staring into space at me, all right. He was looking at me, but his mind was somewhere else. Well, he was quote unquote looking at me, but his mind was somewhere else. I don't know where his mind was at. But I did this. Get this in the camera here. I did this. And that really brought him down to earth. he came down and he hit with a thud. Okay, didn't quite happen that way, but he should have seen his eyes. I'll never forget that. Huh? So anyway, that was kind of sweet, and been entertaining people with that finger trick ever since. It's been great. Okay, so uh, something else happened when I was in fifth grade that made a positive impact in my life. Uh, at lunchtime, a lot of times, I was spending time in a social studies classroom. Uh, Not all the time. I've been out in the playground too, but says there's times I would spend time on in the working on homework or whatever. I can't remember all the details, but uh, while I was there, the fifth grade teacher there taught me how to run the 16 millimeter film projector slash movie projector. All right, and that was cool. Learn how to run a projector. That's nice. It's a nice little something to learn. Uh, One day we had a substitute teacher, and we had a history film that we was going to see. And the substitute teacher did not know how to run the projector. She asked a couple of my classmates, "Hey, you think you guys know how to run this thing?" They said, "Yeah, we'll give it a shot." They tried. They started to run it. Didn't work. One of the two, or maybe both of them, said, "Hey, Shawn, I think he knows how to run it." So I got asked to run it. Okay, and I saw where they screwed up. I fixed it, got it running, and we watched the film. That was sweet. Kind of nice having that skill. All right. No one else in the class knew how to do that. He has 2 points for the poet. The poet's pre-teen years. All right. So, anyways, uh, so there's a couple things that happened when I was 11. 12. 12, some things happened when I was 12 that was kind of interesting. And at the same time, I was going to parochial school. Not parochial school, I'll take that back. I was going to public school. I was going to catechism, all right, once a week. And I was 11 or 12 years old. A couple of things happened in catechism. I had some kid. He was verbally abusing me, all right, being a royal pain, and I was getting madder and madder and madder. Okay, and I wasn't going to stand for it. So I gave him a bloody nose. He never messed with me again. Give the kid 2 points. Hey, bullying says, hey, you got to stand up to him, all right? Says, if you don't stand up to him, they'll come after you and after you. So, and telling parents doesn't always help, all right? So you got to stand up for yourself, okay? Don't let them get to you. Well, if you let them get to you, just don't let it overboil, all right? What I did, it was a simmer. It wasn't overboiling, all right? There's been things on the news to what happens when it overboils, all right? So, anyway, something else happened at catechism. I think I was 12 when this happened, all right? Uh, the catechism teacher, recognized something in me that was different than the other kids, all right? I've, uh, I came up with the right answer more often than not. The other kids did when it came to Bible things, all right? And it kind of scared me, all right? Because I didn't understand then what the Lord had in store for me. Something else happened when I was 12. I got hit by a car. Speed limit was 40 miles an hour. That where I got hit at. All right, and and I could have been killed. I didn't feel a thing. When I was coming to, they was calling for a wrecker for the car. Because when it hit me, it dented in the front end and broke the windshield or cracked the windshield. I don't remember. I don't. They wouldn't let me look at it. I was lying on it and says, "Let me see, let me see." They wouldn't let me. All right. Uh, the ironic thing is, okay, I'm ornery. You know, I just always have been ornery. The night before, I uh, I put some ants. I think it was ants in my brother's. Is either his tea, Kool-Aid, lemonade. I can't remember what he had to drink, but I put some ants in it, and he was a little mad at me. He says, "I hope you get hit by a car." Well, I did. He felt so bad about that, and I walked out of the hospital the same day with bruised up legs and a fractured arm. And it wasn't even a complete fracture. They just put my arm in a sling for 3 weeks, all right? But he felt so bad about that, all right? I'd forgotten about that. He reminded me of it not too many years ago. And I vaguely remember that after he mentioned it, just had to get those wheels turning. And yeah, I remember that a little bit. Okay, so that's something I would have done. But so had an interesting life at 12, got hit by the car. I was staying at an uncle's house for a while, off and on, and built the stool. It's over my dad's house. He's still using it. Uh, a cousin of mine. This is actually funny. Uh, done a lot of cooking at home. I did pretty much do a lot of cooking. My mom showed me a few things, not a whole lot, but I stayed busy in the kitchen sometimes. Clean up your mess when you get done, all right? So, anyways, I was at my uncle's house. My cousin, I get right pronunciation. Uh, my uncle had gotten a poached egg maker, and my cousin decided to make poached eggs one time, and she burned a hole in the bottom of the pan, and couldn't understand how that happened. All right, my uncle didn't understand. I says, "What happened to all the water?" And she says, "What water?" I says, "My uncle, I don't know who said, you didn't put water in the pan?" She goes, "No, I didn't know I was supposed to." She's 5 years older than I am. Okay, didn't know that you needed to put water in the pan to make poached eggs. Really intelligent cousin. All right, so, and there are people that are not that bright in those things. That just whoop de do. All right. We're going to try to. I got my first summer on to 14. I got my first summer. No, we haven't gotten to 13 yet. We'll do 13. Uh, 13. A lot of things happened when I was 13. Uh, the song "The Streak" was hitting the radio waves at that time by Ray Stevens, and my friends and I, we followed suit. Okay, we'd camp out behind this gas station out on this lake. All right, and one of my buddies got some skin magazines. They were nice, and some booze. Did a little drinking. All right. We had a great time, all right, with brothers, a couple of my brothers and friends, uh, and I had all of us had a good time, all right. Uh, the note though says, and the magazines, the skin magazines, the booze contributed to the good time we had, all right, but they could have been something else. It's just as well, all right. Uh, they weren't necessary for the good time. What was necessary was enjoying time with friends, okay? Uh, Making memories together, all right? And had a lot of fun then, okay? And I'm going to tell you more about that in the next video. So we're hitting up here towards 20 minutes, and I don't want to make it too terribly long. So, anyways, till next time. Uh, have a good day or evening, whatever. I hope you enjoy this video. Bye.